is Cubs Radio.
Cubs Radio.
So what happens when three intuitive healers get together to discuss life, love, and spirit? Well, let's just say it gets real. And a little spicy. Welcome to Serenity Soul Sisters. Well, hello everyone. Here we are once again. I'm Barbara Califano. Welcome to Serenity Soul Sisters, and I'm joined here with my very best friends, Gina Simone and Bobby Allison. How you girls doing today?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Bob.
How you doing? How's my girls? Gina, welcome back. We've missed you. You've been a busy girl, but we're so happy you're here today.
I'm so glad that I'm here, and so glad to be able to see you, my two very good friends.
Love you.
Glad you're back.
We're grateful that Beverly was here the last couple of weeks. She was a lot of fun. I'm sure we're going to bring her back a couple of times because she's so much fun. We had a good time with her, but we do miss you, G. So what's going on, Bobby?
I'm in some pain today with my back, so
Okay.
I don't seem like my bright and shiny self. You'll know why.
It's okay.
I'll try to be smiling through the pain, but it's not. The cream's not working so well. But other than that, my mental state is good.
Thank God for that.
Trying to be happy.
Thank God for that.
Trying to be grateful.
Yes, grateful.
Because Thanksgiving's coming, and try to be appreciative of all of my friends and family and things like that. How about you?
I've been busy. Yeah, I had a crazy weekend. Always with the boys. We're running around doing things, and I am very grateful. Very grateful, and I learned a lot these last few months. I had lost someone who was very dear to me, and I miss him tremendously. But what I live with is regrets. So I had to turn that regrets around because, listen, everything happens for reasons, and things don't get done because of reasons, not because of anything else. They're just part of a story, and perhaps that story line was to help me remember how to be grateful and how to appreciate the people who I do care for and love in my life, and not to take things to an ego place. Sometimes we let that get the best of us, and I think that sometimes we as human beings having a human moment forget ourselves, and I think that I have to just keep in mind to be grateful and to remember that it's just a story, and then we'll get through it. But we need to make sure that we show people that we love them. Our friends.
Well, I think sometimes that people get maybe off track, but they're not realizing that's part of grief. Anger is part of grief. So you're going to experience various emotions, and some people misconstrued them.
Right. Well, I am angry. I am, I get
You got to go through all different phases of it.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's how gracefully you get through it and how fast you get through it. Like some people can sit in it for years, and some people go through it in months. So
right.
Depends on what impact that person may have had to your life.
Right. I mean, the good thing is I can hear. I mean, he plenty of signs, gives me lots of messages, and I'm completely grateful for that. It's just, the even though we know our soul lives on forever, and we
don't have them physically here.
Right.
Yes.
And I can say what I want to say, and I can hear him, talking to me, and giving me validations of what I'm hearing. So I know it's not me, it's him, and all that stuff. I get that, but it's still not the same. Because there was no real closure to say, but I did come into a big appreciation for his presence in my life, for the growth that he gave me, for showing me on many levels what love should be like in general. You know, it's
Unconditional.
unconditional. No matter what we are, no matter what we look like, no matter what, you know, things that we carry, the luggage that we carry with us, the demons that we have. When you truly love somebody as a person, we look beyond that. And that's the goal. And I think part of our travel, our journey through this lifetime is that we need to come into acceptance of unconditional love. And not just for, you know, a love relationship, but for friendships and for our children and for our family, because we're all different. And we can't always be what someone else wants us to be.
Right.
But we could accept them from who they are and love them for what they are.
Well, I think first you have to have unconditional love for yourself.
Yes.
And a lot of people wait for other people to feed them that and give them that. So
Right.
once you love yourself, then you are certainly sure of how you want somebody to love you.
Right.
And when people fall short of loving you the way you love yourself, then that's a problem.
Right.
And you take note to that. And then you determine whether you want to, you know, keep giving to that person or not.
Right.
So you not being able to give back to him, but people that are, you know, I tell people all the time, like, if you don't really find what you love about yourself, then how can somebody else find that as
Sure.
well?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so, but you
Right.
losing this person, you know, it's heavy on your heart still.
Yeah.
It's still fresh.
Tomorrow will be 3 months. So
And
it
then
is.
you got Gina, who lost her son,
Yes.
and, you know, other members of her family. And for her, I believe that would be like a constant, because that's a child, right, Gina?
Yeah, so I was just going to say that Barbara was talking about gratitude of people being in our lives. This weekend, we brought Anthony's ashes back to Pittsburgh because that was his city. It's where he always wanted to be.
Right.
It was truly the place that he thrived. And there was a lot of reflection. I mean, besides, you know, the tears and physically knowing that he's at peace, but we can't see him. Like Barbara was saying, you can't hold the person.
Right.
But the gratitude,
Right.
because I thought, wow, there were times when he was alive that days could go by or weeks could go by and no one would hear from him and no one
Right.
would think anything. And here it is every single day, everyone in
just
the
think of
family
him.
thinks about him.
Yeah.
Every single person thinks about him.
Right.
And here we are bringing his ashes back. And I was thinking about the gratitude, not only the gratitude of him being in our lives and being a part of our lives, but the gratitude of all of the lessons that his loss
Yeah.
has brought and the closeness that it has brought to the different sides of the family, of everyone really coming together.
Right.
That probably would not have happened if he had not passed. So there's so much that I'm grateful for,
Right.
obviously, that he was here and a part of our lives. But there's so much that I'm grateful for that he continues to teach us. And I think gratitude, it's interesting because as humans, we think, well, gratitude is just stuff that's good. So I'm going to be thankful for what's good. Thank you for
Right.
my health. Thank
Right.
you for my family. But the gratitude is also thank you for the lessons
Right.
that are and the experiences that are making me a stronger person,
Yeah.
that are making me see what life is really about. Because Barbara, remember what Bobby just said.
Right.
Your friend taught you about unconditional love.
Oh yeah.
That's
And I think that's what
loss
he
teaches
needed.
us.
Right. And I think that he needed that as well. Like, I think he, you know, being intuitive and knowing him, like, I feel part of his lesson was to accept that unconditional love. And I know that that was something that he had struggled with, and that's okay, because where he is now, he knows it, he feels it, I'm sure. But I think the appreciation, showing appreciation to them, is honoring their memory every day, you know, and trying to live in the best way that I could, that we could, like, you know, when someone passes away, to kind of keep that soul alive. I don't know.
And the
So
memory
you went through that, Gina.
Yeah.
the memory of the person, the memory of their heart, the memory of the love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we going through this grief process and seeing other parents who are going through the grief process.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that as humans, we put more focus on the physical part of the loss.
Right.
I can't see them. I can't touch them. I can't talk to them. I can't laugh with them.
Right.
But the soul is still with us, and the memories are still with us, and their heart is still with us. And if we're open to the signs, the loved ones are always going to let us know that they're around. But I notice that everyone really fixates on the physical loss rather than stepping back and saying, okay, what is the gratitude or the thankfulness that I can have what this person brought into my life?
Right.
Tough. It's tough.
It's tough.
There was this person, Dee Ferris. She said, grief has no timeline. It's also not how long you grieve. Right. It's what you do at the time. There's no rules. And she said, you're okay, Barbara. And then she also wondered if everyone saw the moon tonight.
Oh, my God, yes. I saw the moon. Oh, my God, it was huge. I like it.
Something I'd like to say.
Go ahead, Bobby. What you got?
There's all different types of grief. And my sister and I were talking earlier, and she sent me this this little meme, and it says it's absolutely okay to grieve that the relationship that didn't work out, the friendship you had to let go of, the old you that no longer served you, what you went through growing up, how you were treated in the past, the life you envisioned but didn't happen, the loss you experienced. So there's all different types of grieving as well.
Yeah.
You know, people don't always talk about that. And I didn't mean to disrespect you, Gina, because I was very, I was tearing up there for your experience this weekend. You know, he sends signs through me sometimes, and I'm sure everyone else. And it was a beautiful tribute. I saw the photos.
Yeah, they were beautiful. I did see them myself too.
You know,
but you know, if we really look at grief, we tend to look at it from the standpoint of, I no longer have what I thought I was going to have.
Right.
And the acceptance part, which is what Bobby had said before, accepting that not everything stays the same, nor can it stay the same,
right,
allows us to get through the grief process just a little bit easier.
Right.
When we think, there's so many people that I've said, but children are not supposed to pass before their parents. Okay. If you look at from the universal standpoint, a soul is a soul is a soul. But as humans, we attach to it the condition of they're younger than us, so therefore they must not leave before us.
Right.
But when we're looking at loss of a job, loss of a relationship, we focus on what was taken from us that should not have in our conditional lives should have been taken. And change means sometimes you're going to have things taken away from you for your highest good.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know that you know, this person actually is like mentoring me on the other side, which is funny because I used to mentor him here. So I guess the roles reverse, and now I'm like in psychic boot camp because that's what I'm shown every day. Like I'm shown signs and music and symbols and all kinds of crazy stuff. And Bobby sends me.
Say to that. She's gonna listen to the people that are on the other side, except the people that are here. She don't listen to.
Oh, such a bitch!
Amen.
Such
Amen,
a bitch.
Bobby.
I love you, but you're such a
Praise
bitch.
the Lord. Praise
I'm
the
a
Lord.
I'm a bitch.
Listen, Queen Bee.
And I have something that's called bitchology.
Bitchology. Well, did you write it? You wrote it.
No.
You wrote it, girl.
I should have written it because this is so a lot of us.
Okay.
And I just had to get my little thing in there because you know I'm a wise ass.
You are a wise ass, but I love you for that. I'll kick your ass later on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. You can't catch me.
Oh, you just wait, girl. You wait.
Listen, we all have our own conditions and paradigms and thought patterns, and of course we're all going to perceive death of the soul, death of the physical and not the soul.
Right.
Well, some people believe that don't believe that there is a soul. They just think you're dead, you're dead.
Oh my God, that's a horrible thought. I can't even, like, that hurts my heart. Like, don't even say that. Oh.
Yes, people
do.
Some people do not. They go, come on, you believe in that medium shit?
Right.
Well,
shit, like, because you know why? They're not open to it. They've never been exposed. Until
something happens
that's close to them, then they'll seek it out when they're ready.
Or it hit them like a ton of bricks, because that happens too.
Experience for everyone.
Right. I just can't imagine like I that would kill me. Well, I know that it's not true. I know that that's not true because we see and hear the other side all the time. So it's not like it's for us. It exists. For them, I to even think that it doesn't exist hurts my heart. It does.
Well, I want you to stop saying things like it kills me.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to teach you a little bit.
All right. I know. Cancel it. I will.
Yeah,
It's such a pain in the ass.
and all these things that you experience, which are pretty cool. But just
They have been very cool.
Just letting you know to be careful what you say because this is a really big manifesting time with the the age of Aquarius and all that. Of course, this moon is not about manifesting. This is all about release, and purge it.
And you know what? That's what I've been doing. I've been throwing shit out of my house all weekend.
This is a
14 bags.
A full moon, and I only read this, so I'm not good with this, but it's a full moon, but it's also an eclipse. So with that being said, it's I've read over and over that it says it's just a release moon. It's not don't manifest anything.
Well, I released a lot. Yeah,
well, it's also from inside of you, not just from your home.
Well, I've been, of course, I've been crying for days.
The mind also, how your mind is how your home is, or your bedroom, or that's what they say.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's
well,
great.
It's very neat now because I
well, look, you're getting it all together. It's been a long time coming, girl.
I know. It's
Gina.
Yeah,
Gina.
I mean, when you purge your physical belongings, your energy feels lighter.
Yeah,
the energy in the room feels lighter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And suddenly you start to feel a little bit more hopeful. But I want to go back to what we had originally talked about. How do you find gratitude in the midst of your grief? Because we have Thanksgiving that's coming up, right?
Yeah, right.
And how do we on that day say thanks when our heart is breaking? How do we do that? How do you think you girls, how do you think we should do that?
I don't know. Bobby, what are you going to do?
While you're thinking, Jessica said Gina's book is so great for anyone who's ever dealing with
It
grief.
is.
Gina, hold up your book.
Yeah. Where's your book, G?
It was appropriate.
It is very appropriate. My God, your book is incredible.
Only because of what she went through this week, and I didn't know if she wanted to go there, but.
Oh man, I just dropped here. This Whispers of Love. This is what it looks like. You can get it on Amazon.
And then leave a great review after
it was a beautiful book.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, so how do we? Let's.
I have a suggestion.
What?
Yes.
I think that this is just a suggestion, but because I don't know the position you're in, I don't ever want to know because it's horrific, and I just can't believe that ever happened and to you. And I think like if you are looking to find some type of something to be grateful for, then just be grateful for the time that you had with him. Like, or think of the great times you had together, and think of the children that he left behind. So that's a piece of him. Not saying that you don't want him there, but just be appreciative that not that. I guess I'm not saying the right words because you don't.
No, you are.
But like, find those things, and then you still are sad, but try to layer it and find the sweetness in the life that he lived, and then. The dark times or the sadness will always be in your heart, I gather. And
so
try
the
to
reason
find that sweet place.
The reason
because
that
he wrote that book with you.
Right. That's right. He's the one that downloaded the book. But the reason that I'm bringing this up and the reason that I'm saying, no, you are saying it the right way, because when you were speaking, I wasn't necessarily thinking the loss of a loved one. I heard through your words also, if you lost a relationship, if you lost a home, if you lost a job, everything that you just said about find the positive or what you can be grateful for, the relationship that's no longer there, or what you can be grateful for the job that you used to have. Finding the gratitude does not mean everything is always going great.
Right.
Finding the gratitude means let me shift my energy so I'm not focusing on the hurt or the depression or the sadness or the betrayal, but let me focus on what is going right in my life. Even if that means that you put on a pair of pants that you haven't put on in a long time and they fit, if that was the best thing that happened that day, then you're grateful that you got those pants on. It literally is shifting your mindset so that we're not constantly being dragged down by the hurt, by the grief, by the overwhelming depression. Because we slip, as humans, we slip into those emotions way too fast.
You know what I was thinking too? I was thinking that as you were saying that, Gina, it's also like when something ends, something incredible is coming because you've learned that lesson. So I try to find when something is lost, whether it's, a love relationship or a friendship or a job or whatever it may be, there's something incredible coming because we've learned that lesson. So now something really good's going to come to give us some more joy or may bring us to another level. So there's some excitement there with what's going to happen next. So I'm in my grief, and yes, I mourn the loss of this person, or I mourn the loss of this job or my home, but how have I grown from that experience? How have I grown from that experience? And because of that growth, what's coming next? I don't know. It's just an idea.
Well, because it brings you back to different emotions, and energy flows where focus goes. So if you're constantly going to be, going back to that place, then try to think of something that was positive with that particular person. And let that be the state of mind. Right. Because it's all state of mind until it affects you physically, where grief sits in the lungs. Right. And, and you have to get through all of that. I've learned that from this ascension work for the last 2 years, like the grief that I have for not just, people passing, but for many things. Right. I have this asthma, I have these, issues. And as I notice as I purge, it comes from a very deep place in the lung. And it's like, how did that get there? Like, why is this today? Like, and then you realize that, wow, I've talked to this, and this person, and I had issues in the past and they appeared again. And now I'm purging through the lung. So that's something to think about. And I think like we all go through it in our own pace, but there are people that like I read, and I'm sure you do too, Gina, that, it seems like it's yesterday for their loved one. It could be 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. My grandfather, remember my grandmother? She was like that with my grandfather. She was mad. It was, it was like 20 years and she was still mad at him for leaving.
Yeah, but I think that now, like, because back then there was really, you couldn't go to medium, but now it's like people just from other people going, find their way, and then they're able to then see it in a whole different light. And giving them evidential information and saying, listen to what they have to say before you judge it. And I think it's such like the work that we all do is such a healing, a wonderful healing to experience. And Gina, do you have some of those clients that, maybe it's like an older woman or man and they lost their spouse and you would swear it was in the last 5 months?
Yeah.
Because they hold that energy in their mind and they just can't focus on anything else. It's the saddest thing ever. But
it's so sad because you're right. Energetically, it feels like, oh my God, this person must be under a year because this person sitting in front of me is holding this tremendous grief. And you find out that this person, passed 10 years ago, and I feel so bad because I'm thinking this person sitting in front of me has missed out on 10 years of living because they held on to the grief and the sorrow and the loss and the lack of that person not being here. Right. That's the part that makes me sad because your loved ones on the other side are fine. Their souls are moving around, growing, they're ascending, they're okay. But it's us that are remaining here that stay stuck. And you're right, Bobby, it makes me very sad.
Yeah.
It's just what I want to say. I don't know. My words lately, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I guess the way that the ascension's working, you go between, I don't know if it's dimensions or whatever, but I never had ADD before, but I feel like I have it because I can't get focused in on what I want to say. And I'm like, I can't talk today. I know what my mind wants to say, but the mouth is not getting it out. So it's not good when you're alive on something like this, but I just wanted to say that I forgot what I wanted to say, so let's move on. Holy Mother of Jesus.
Dee Ferris wonders if this is a good idea. She said to write a letter of gratitude to your person that you're missing and say thank you and goodbye. Like, that's so
It's never
hard.
goodbye. No, you know what? It's not goodbye. It's I'll see you again. Yeah, I'll see you next time I see you. But
ciao for now, Barbara says.
Hey, what? What did you say?
Barbara always says ciao for now.
Ciao for now, baby. Talk to you soon. Yeah. No, and I think that's what it is. It's really not. It's not a goodbye. It's never a goodbye. It's I'll see you soon. Catch you on the.
Of course, if they believe that, if they don't believe that, then they would say goodbye, and maybe that's their way of having closure. So that would be really a personal experience for them,
right?
Like a personal choice, rather.
Yeah, I know. I think that like for friendships and stuff like that, and when someone dies suddenly, it's always a because it's a shock. And it's especially when they're young and they're only like, when they're your age. You don't want people dying when they're your age because, you don't want anything like you're next. So I think that sometimes, it's just hard to accept because it's a shock. And I think that we go through when someone dies suddenly, when my cousin died suddenly, it was a shock to our system. So there really is no like my cousin wanted meatballs. Like he asked me, "Cause you gonna make some meatballs?" I said, "Yeah, I'll make you some meatballs." I never made the meatballs, and that's all I kept thinking was all he wanted was meatballs. Like, I never got a chance to make him meatballs. And you know what? He could probably I'm sure that if I made them, he would have enjoyed them. But because I didn't get them, I don't think that he's saying, "Damn, I didn't get my meatballs." Like, what I'm saying? Like he's like mad at me or anything, but.
Well, I bet
it's just sad.
Meatballs, he would stand in the kitchen and smell them as you were making them.
I'm sure, because I made them the other day and they were all gone. My kids must eat them through the night. I swear to God, they're gone. I get the next morning. I'm like, where are they? But I think that when people die suddenly like that, it kind of like jolts you a little bit because it's unexpected and because they're young and you don't expect that to happen. And you always think that, I have more time. I'll just call them next week or I'll call them tomorrow. And I find myself calling people and saying things to people, not because, I don't want to wait because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I just want to call and say, hey. So, if I'm a pain in the ass, girls, sorry. Don't answer. Just text me, high five. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like sometimes someone, like when that happens, we're kind of like, it's a little check for us because life is very busy and sometimes we don't take the time. We are always in a hurry, and maybe this slows us down a little bit and makes us reflect on our life. And am I
You know what it is, Barbara?
present?
Also, you're right, because when you go to certain classes or you talk to certain people, they're like, this is your journey and you're not really supposed to worry about anybody that's not under 18 or that's your child. You're supposed to continue on your journey and do your thing, not sit and worry about people.
Right.
And that was his journey. It's unfortunate and it sucks. Just like we had people in my family, young teenagers that passed and stuff, and it sucks.
Right.
But like you can't feel guilty that you didn't make the meatballs that he wanted. I mean, it's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if it helps anybody out there, just remember, always hold the highest light for yourself and for your family and friends. And we don't control our beginning or our end. Some people come to me and they think they killed somebody because they didn't think of them or they had a fight with them, and just it's not the way it is. That's the beginning and the end is already set.
Right. It's what we do in the middle that's important.
Yes, the journey. It's all about the journey.
But I think that makes us more present because we don't get that.
Right. If you're focusing on your journey.
Right, because we're just too busy, and I don't want to be too busy anymore. I want to be more present, and I thought I was being present, and I thought I was not living in the ego. But sometimes people trigger certain things in you, and you become that that human again. You're like, oh, fuck, I did it again, And then you're like, all right, I'll fix it tomorrow. But then you can't fix it tomorrow because you don't have tomorrow. So fix it now.
Well, they say yesterday is gone, tomorrow's not here, and the gift is the present. The gift is the present because you focus on the now. There's a book that I never could get into, I read like the first chapter called The Power of Now.
Oh my God.
Such a hard book.
I can't. I put it down after the first 2 pages. I'm like, God, why can't I read this?
I even tried the Audible. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even listen to it.
It's supposedly a really good book, but
It
I just
is.
can't get through it. But if anybody's interested, that's what it's called.
And his voice puts me to
because
sleep. I can't. I try.
The power of now basically says, in a couple of sentences, is that yesterday is gone.
Right.
Tomorrow we have no idea what's going to happen.
Oh,
so
well,
really
just-
the
yeah,
only
that's
thing
true.
that we need to focus on is now. This
See,
moment.
Gina, it could have been done in 1 page.
It's what I've been. Spirit's been telling me that for years, and I didn't know that was in the
Quick
book.
wrap.
But I guess it's the same thing, and they probably said you don't need to read it because we're going to give it to you.
Well, Oprah made a big stink about the book. I went out to get it. I'm like, oh, it's really hard. I'm going to get the Audible. Oh, I can't. I'm falling asleep. But it is a good book. I'm not saying don't read it. It is a
Everybody
great
has
book.
to-
But you have to
listen,
resonate with it.
Dr. Brian Weiss, and it's called Many Lives, Many
I
Masters.
love that book.
the best. Easy
Read it twice. I love it.
listening. He's a wonderful soul.
Yeah.
Um,
We got to get him on, Bobby.
yeah.
We should call him.
I'll text him and ask him because I'm friendly with him.
Yeah,
So I can-
you should ask him.
he's sometimes, he's signed with Hay House, so sometimes he's not allowed to do certain things. He
Yeah,
wasn't.
but it's
able
only
to-
us.
Yeah, he might be able to. I mean, he might be just a guest. He's not. He's a guest, not gonna do the show with us. So
Right. No, he'd be a guest. He could just
yeah.
be a
So yeah, I'll ask him. I'll ask. His wife is really interesting too. She works with them at the center. They do it in upstate. They do like classes and stuff. So maybe
Yeah.
they both can be on.
I always wanted to go when he was up in the
Yeah, they got some great classes going on. Up
They
there.
do, but you know what? I never got a chance to go. But I don't know. We should just I have to make an effort to go. Although the last couple of years we haven't been able to go anywhere. So
What is that, Lilydale you're
Uncle met
talking
him
about?
at my wedding, right?
Yeah, we met him at your wedding. Oh, we had a lot of fun.
Nice guy, right?
Oh, he was so nice.
Barbara,
nice.
you're talking about going where? Lilydale? Is that
No,
where
it was in Rhinebeck. What do they call it? The
Oh, the
oh, help me out, girls. What the hell's it called?
I can't think
Rhinebeck,
right
New
now.
York. It was
in Spirit. He's at the One Center. No.
The Omega?
Omega.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Gina. Yes.
Yeah, he does all the classes.
Did you
with
ever
him
go
and his
there?
wife, Carol.
Did you guys ever
I
go
went
to
to the
Omega?
Omega to go see John of God, and I'm sorry that I did that. Now that I know everything.
my
Oh
God,
my God,
I
I
can't
know.
do that.
Can't even go there. Can't even go there with that guy. That's upsetting.
Very upsetting.
Yeah, because
Here
then
I
we have
am
to
putting
talk
him
about
up
the
on
other
a
people
pedestal
connected
like
and
he's
I'll
almost
cry.
God. Oh, it's disgusting.
I know. People may not know who he is.
Yeah.
But we don't want to bring in that bad energy, but you want to.
No, we don't want to bring up bad energy.
No.
And we don't
but-
want to bring up something that's like got a court case going and anything.
Yeah.
It's all,
Yeah.
you
You know what? It's not us to judge. Like God judged that.
yeah, and that's like all hearsay until
Right.
it's proven and all that. So
Right. And even
Well,
then, only God
anything.
knows. Even then, whatever. But yeah, I've always wanted to go there, but I heard that there's like no TV, no radio, no phones, and I'm not sure if I could do that.
really,
Nothing.
Nothing.
To
Nothing. There's nothingness.
So I went and spent a weekend with the Tibetan monks up in Woodstock with my friend.
Oh my God, I remember when you did that.
There's nothing there.
Oh my God.
And it's all vegan food.
Oh God.
And it was an old building before they got the new ones. It was a freaking nice experience.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
it's
they
different.
did the meditation for like, I think it was like 8 hours. I was like, I'm out. I can't do this. I don't need to be. There was walking meditation. There was sitting.
I would like that though, walking
Is-
meditation.
That was cool. That part of
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah.
The part where they did like with the actual monks that came in, you sat on these little pads on the floor and they did the gong every like maybe 20 minutes, but they legit sitting there and they meditate for like 8 hours. And I was just like,
Did you wear the clothes? Did you?
yeah. No, but you can't, there's no TV. The only TV they have is a TV where they put in all things about Buddhism. And it was very interesting. Like the story to me, if I had to give a synopsis of this, the story of Buddha and Jesus was very similar.
Okay.
And I was like, one took from the other. So it must have been Jesus first, Buddha second, or was it Buddha first? I mean, I was very confused. It was like the story was that they showed. I was like, this sounds familiar. So it was very kind of odd for me. But, the monks, you're really not supposed to talk to them, but they come out and they do their thing, and they teach you like they can't eat certain foods. They're only vegetarians. They had some really great dishes, but it wasn't good for the gastro tract. I'll tell you that. It wasn't. And sharing a room with not good. But anywho, it was a very nice experience. And
oh my God, it's so funny.
they have trails that go through. You go and
Yeah.
that when you stay at the house, you have to pay, but you also have to do chores for the weekend that you're there.
All
so
right.
you can do kitchen duty, or it was a very enlightening experience.
Would you do it again?
I would.
Let's go. I'll go with you.
Yeah, they built a whole new kind of like with all these different rooms, because it became very popular for people to go and find themselves. And we met a
Where
lot
is
of
it?
great people in Woodstock,
Oh, I like
where they were supposed to have Woodstock, New York, but it was too small because it's just very tiny area, but it was kind of up in the mountain a bit. The house we stayed in was the original. It was like leaning to the side. I thought it was going to cave in. It was like a 3-story. It was really, you walked down the hall, you felt like you were going to fall through the floor. Very clean and everything, but it was just old.
Yeah.
And it was very nice. If anybody's looking to do that, you can look that up and book some time to stay there. I mean, I'm sure there's rules and regulations now with COVID, but it was a really, really nice experience, and I would definitely suggest it. And they had people there that were doing like, there's a chef. They had all these people. They were just everyday, average people that wanted to give back because they found Buddhism. And so they came and they volunteered their time every day, and they cooked and they chopped the kitchen, cleaned everything, and like very awesome people.
Nice.
Just awesome.
Gina, have you done that before? Have you ever done that?
No, I've never done anything like that. But doesn't that sound like just you're putting everything aside that drives us crazy in this life, and you're just going down to the basics.
Yeah. I think I'd be like so nervous. Like I have to talk to my kids. Like
no,
maybe I could do it for one day. I don't know if I could do it for 2 days.
Forget everything. And the good thing about it is you could bring your phone and shut it off, but there's no service. So why bring it?
Jesus.
But you go outside, you could find a spot to like, it's kind of rural, but I'm telling you, the experience is really something that changes you. I would say go the cathedral. Oh my God. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have anything going on there, Sally?
No, I'll barge right in if I can.
Okay, that's Sally. She'll barge right in.
Barge right in with a comment.
Barge right in. So
What's everybody doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm doing very small. Just my mom, my sister, I think, and my kids.
Are you making a turkey or something else?
No, I'm gonna do turkey, and then Sunday, I think it is. My oldest son is having like 14 boys over for a friendsgiving. So I gotta make another turkey. Another turkey.
So these friendsgiving, I've heard this like now 4 or 5 times this past week. Apparently, this is like something really big.
It's going to be a couple of years now. I've heard it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm like so this is not family. It's just friends coming together to be thankful and to celebrate,
like we do with our
Yeah.
I love that. That's such a great idea.
It's fun, and another mom and I are going to do it together, and then then we have the boys, and they're crazy. We love them, and they're awesome.
Order from a particular restaurant, and I just wanted to let you know that the food crunch is on, girls, because they're not taking any more orders, which I'm so upset. They said that they have shortages, and corporate is holding back, giving them the supplies they need, and they only took a certain amount of orders. They didn't even put it on their website.
Oh my God.
And I said, this is ridiculous. I'm like,
so what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna have to buy something if they have it in the store and cook it. She said she'll call me back by Saturday and let me know. I said, well, I'm just gonna look around at other places, but this is what's going on now. Corporate is really just, strong arming these restaurants over and not giving them the proper food because they said that they don't have it. So they're talking about how there's going to be all these food shortages we've heard for the last 2 years. Well, I'm fully stocked. And I've been. Don't come knocking because my 50 cases of water and my 30 cases of toilet paper is all mine. No, I'm kidding.
Anyone who's ever been through.
I'm going to send you girls the pictures later.
Oh my God.
Everybody that comes here is like, something's wrong with you. I'm like,
you ready?
Toilet paper again. or water.
You only have a couple of heinies in that house. I don't understand.
But I have a lot of visitors.
Oh, okay.
And that doesn't matter because I will never have to worry about it.
This is very true. If there's no more toilet paper, you won't have to worry.
Last year, when my daughter and son-in-law, they needed a couple cases of water, they needed toilet tissue. Here you go.
Go shopping at your house.
Yep. It's more important to have it than to not, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. But I just think that, people need to kind of learn to cultivate their own food. And maybe I'm going to buy some seeds and get like a little mini greenhouse going, because I'm telling you, let's hope and pray and not think on that timeline. But, if you're going to look for it like outside, like some restaurants you call, they're like, oh, we don't have any more of like tomatoes or whatever, or we're not getting, the last time it was, the companies aren't making straws, so we can't give out straws. I'm like, okay.
I've been going to the farmer's market in Babylon. They have one more weekend there.
Just stock up on some canned
I
stuff.
love that stuff. I go there and I stock up. They have fresh breads from Manhattan, from a bakery or Washers, I think it's called. They have the best stuff. What? No, I haven't. No, but my sister's there, so she has. But
do you have another freezer in your garage or two freezers so you can stock up?
Gina, you must have, because you're a.
Of course, please.
That's what I just said.
I'm so silly.
I was in a zone.
Gina's thinking, do I have enough toilet paper? Wait, hold on. I think I need a case of water.
Stocked up with food. But I used to be like this even before. So
you're Italian. This is what Italians do.
The way I grew up, but I must admit. But you know what? I'm a little excessive now, but that's okay. I'll get over it.
That's okay. That's okay. I did the same thing. I went out and I went to the butcher. I got like 3 weeks worth of meat in my freezer, But
because if you have the money, then you buy it. And you put it in the freezer. That's all.
Yeah, and I go to BJ's and Costco. You have to have
appreciation for the food that you have in there.
We have abundance. So I listen. When I have someone come over the house, I'm like, oh, no problem. I have plenty of food.
I know,
plenty of food. Yeah.
Yes, you just appreciation for the food, and that we're able to, to keep it and to cook it when we need to, and have it in case you have a neighbor that needs some elderly folks or.
But what's amazing? You know what's amazing? When my kids come home and they say, we have nothing in this house.
Nothing they want, maybe.
I said, are you kidding? Oh, my God. I was cleaning out the pantry. You know what I found?
What?
2 boxes of Malamars. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to condense them, because why are both of them open? Right? Why are both of them open? So let me condense them. I don't eat them. So,
oh, my God, they're amazing.
Oh, my kids eat them. So I'm like, I'm going to just condense them. I opened them both up. They're empty. What? No. Why are they putting 2 boxes in the pantry and they're empty? I'm like, are you kidding?
The Malamar Bandit.
Yeah. I guess they didn't want me to know that they were, because I don't eat them. So I guess they figured if she sees the boxes, we're good.
Oh, my goodness.
She's not going to yell.
She's not going to yell. We ate all the Malamars.
That's too funny.
But we have nothing in the house.
Too funny. I got to sit up.
Craziness.
Okay. Ow. Okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm trying to just move a little bit to see if the medicine kicked in.
No, you're doing good, so don't move.
Cannabis cream is the best.
Woo!
People shun me, but I don't care. Look in your own backyard.
Gina, do you have any new events coming up for the holidays that you do locally?
It's interesting because even though society is opening up, I noticed that people are still like a little nervous and a little scared of being in large groups. Right. So I don't really have any big fundraisers. I do have one coming up, but it's in Jersey in the next couple of weeks. And it's benefiting a girl who committed suicide there. And it's for suicide prevention. Oh, that's nice. So I'm very excited about that. But I noticed that people want to get out, but they're not pushing themselves to get out as much as they used to, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, they're just being a little bit more cautious.
Still living in fear, I think, too. When you live in fear, you bring it to yourself. It's unfortunate, but
So in 2022, are we looking at, what are we looking at for that? What are you guys predicting for 2022? Being that we're getting so
they're
close
already
to
on
it.
to the flu pandemic. Didn't you hear?
Oh my God. Okay.
So I don't plan to that because I don't want to bring it to myself.
Right.
But yeah, now they're on to the flu pandemic.
Okay.
They said there's going to be a twindemic.
A twindemic?
What the hell's a twindemic?
The hell's that?
Be popping out some twins?
Oh,
No.
what the hell is that?
Said it was going to be the flu and corona
Oh.
together.
Are they going to rename it?
I don't know. They called it a twindemic. That was like 2 months ago. And then today I heard
Fluvid.
the flu pandemic. But the flu magically disappeared.
Oh.
When it was the whole corona thing.
Oh.
Yeah, did you notice that? Just
Yeah,
magically
I'm not saying that people didn't have it because obviously we know people that have it and people that pass from it.
Right.
But it was not, in my opinion, and I know people are going to probably inbox me, but I don't care. I don't care what people say. You should know that. People can say what they want, but it's
your opinion. This is what you're experiencing. This is your experience.
So I just believe that it was not as they said it was. I think it was over, like, how do you say, exasperated?
Okay.
I think there was, I hate to say it like this, but because it's more like, people like, oh, conspiracy, whatever. But if you do like the research and you look at like the chemtrails and you look at all stuff like that and you really research it, people are lazy. Because I was one of them until I started hearing about these things from different people. And then when I started researching them, I'm like, oh my God, I never even knew that existed. Never heard of chemtrails, never heard of this other thing where they engineer weather and stuff. I'm like, what? Because I always said to myself, well, these big storms come, why can't they fly into the eye of it, release some chemical and stop it from killing people? But apparently they make these storms. There's ways that they can do this.
Well, they're getting wicked. I mean, we had 5, I think it was, they said 4 or 5 tornadoes that touched down on Long Island. I know. In November.
And why only New York? Does anybody wonder why all this stuff happens to New York?
I don't know.
Good point.
It's Armageddon.
I mean, come on, people, wake up. I get pissed off sometimes, and I don't post too much about political stuff. I don't post too much about the conspiracy. But if there's a conspiracy, obviously a thought and a creation comes from something. So if you all do your work and stop being lazy in the mind, not you girls, I'm talking about the people that are listening. Just research it, just for shits and giggles. Research it and keep researching it, and then sit back and think like, what the hell did I just read? I asked Gina, the things that one of our friends sends, and when you research it, like, this is bullshit. You research it and you find out that it's true. There are things that I can't unsee.
Right. But does spirit step in and tell you? What is, like, does spirit step in and say?
Sometimes in a reading, they'll tell me some things, but I experience it from a client who shall remain.
Right. We don't name anybody. No.
Who was the victim of sexual trafficking.
Okay.
Who they did horrific things to her grandmother. They've planted things in her home. And I'm like, is this lady, like, is she paranoid? Is this true? And I believe part of it is true, but I think the other part is her fear because it's been so long and she has like times and dates and this, that, and the other thing. And I've come across a couple people like that. Some of them you're like, yeah, no. But this one, it just hit me like in a way that I feel so sad. But then another friend I was talking to about it sent me a video and I kept saying, I need to see it because I have to see if this is real. I didn't want to see it for any other reason. And I said, but I don't know if I want to see it. And they said, well, you really don't want to see this. So I said, well, just send it. And if I don't click on it, then I don't want to see it. But my phone was on the counter right next to me, or the table, and it happened to be open to the person's name. When they sent it, it wasn't like a movie thing. It was like a 30-second video and it played by itself, and I wanted to throw up because I said,
Wow.
"This has damaged my soul beyond, and you can never unsee what you saw." So that little 30-second clip was meant for me to see it, so that I would know that everything that I was being told and that I researched was real. And my heart breaks for these kids. I can't. I don't want to go into it, but people, do your research, because the kids sex trafficking and the women and all the things that they say, it's true. I saw it. It's disgusting.
Right.
And you need to, and this is why we need to skip, we need to cross the timelines. We need to rise above it. We need to get away from it, because everything is collective and everything is happening at the same time. How do you think psychics work? How do you think we know the outcome of something? Because it already happened. And we peer into a place that other people may not know where to go.
Right.
And so we can get away from that again. We don't need our consciousness around those events, especially with children. Like, this is a shame that this goes on. A shame.
Gina, have you experienced that as well in your readings?
Yeah, you get into some really dark energy, and all people of all walks of life come in for readings, and it's hard when you've got to give information about this darkness, or to help lift someone out into the light. It's hard because we have to get into that energy in order to read it,
right?
And it's hard to stay away from it and read it. So it's really hard. It hurts my heart when you see how many people out there are suffering in all the different ways that they're suffering. It hurts my heart.
How do we collapse the timelines? How do we collapse timelines? People may be saying, "What are timelines?"
You have to do the letting go, the purging, the when you go to bed at night, you have to ask your highest self to please put you on the highest timeline available to you. You have to not keep playing in 3D. The more you play in that third dimension, with all the negative and all the sadness and all the wars and all the crap, then that's where you're going to stay. And there may be people in your life that you have to kind of, get out for a little while until they wake up and they learn that, why are you playing in that dirty field?
Right.
You could, in the fifth dimension, Gaia, they call the earth, which I never knew, has raised a vibration from the third to the fourth dimension. When she went into the fourth dimension, we had that shift and everybody was feeling it. People like, why can't I sleep? How come I can't remember my dreams? Because we went into the dimension of where we used to dream. Now we're awake in it. Right. So we needed to climb through to get to the fifth. And, it goes all the way up. And there's so many people that are on like the ninth already. I'm like, bye, see you when I get there.
Right.
Type of thing. But it's all about happiness, love, and joy. And it can be. But the more the mind has these programs and these grids of how do you say, these grids of the negative, or the programs that we've been programmed for many, many, many thousands of years, or however. And, we have to get through this. We have to really just do the ascension work, do the purging, see that we are so special and we're so powerful that we can get to other places, higher dimensions.
Right. Maybe through gratitude of what we've experienced and looking forward to better days and a higher self of our another version of ourselves, with each of the growths that we have. So I think if we're present and we're experiencing it and we're more aware of it, then we look forward to the next level of awareness. What do you think, Gina?
Yeah, how do you change what's going to come down the road? You change it by changing yourself in that moment. Right. You've got to change into a positive energy field in order to attract to you more positivity.
Right.
And it's a choice. Everyone has free will. And I say this to my clients all the time. Just because Spirit is showing me something in the future does not necessarily mean that that's going to happen, because at any point in time, your free will can change this, can change the outcome.
And the other person, whoever the reading is involving, the other people that are in that scenario, they can change their free will as well to make your story change. Yes.
Here's a question. God, I just lost it. Will we miss people if we go to the fourth dimension? Will we leave them behind?
Yeah, I think that I said the same thing when they told me that. I said, well, what about my family and my friends? And they said, well, if they're going to continue playing in third dimension, you want to stay there with them, have fun.
Right.
But the work is to get yourself higher, and then maybe they'll follow by seeing how your life is. But she also said that there could be two lifetimes or two timelines going at the same time. The one you're experiencing and the one they're experiencing. So, people say, why do all these bad things happen to my blah, blah, blah? She's got all these things are always bad for her, and she's always experiencing all these things. Well, she's not growing. She's not purging. She's not letting go. She's allowing all that stuff to stay with her. So I was told, like, get ready. And I said, do I have to weed my spiritual garden? Yes, you do. I have to keep out of my life? Yeah. Well, if they're the ones that are playing in that field, then you have to. I didn't know if I liked that too much, but the universe sort of took some people out of my life, and I wasn't happy.
Well, I mean, it could just be temporary until they reach up to your vibration. It's all about vibration.
They are powerful, and they need to, have their consciousness at a different level. Absolutely. Right. There's no ceiling. You can go. Mm-hmm. You can grow and grow and grow. There is no limit. It's limitless.
Right.
But we've been taught and programmed otherwise, and we got to get out of that.
I had a lot of deja vus. The month of October was September and October.
Timelines. You've been there.
Oh already. My God. It was like a tidal wave of them.
Been there, done that.
It was crazy. And now it's kind of like, but my dreams have been very real. Very real.
I mean, I could see that because it's a very, to sit here and try to just describe it and talk about it in an hour show does not do it justice. I'm just giving you some of the highlights that stuck with me, but the work is really hard. You have to dig really deep. You have to go through all the things that you went through as a child up until now. All the things you thought that you needed to hold on to. We don't own negative emotion. Negative emotion is alive, and it does its job, and it waits right on the side of you until you're vulnerable, until they can come in, and it can come in.
Well, that's where depression comes from. People, that negativity energy waits for that moment of weakness and jumps in and brings that person straight down where addiction lies, for drinking, drugs, food addictions, every kind of addiction you can think of is when you're at your weakest, and that little negativity goes in there and yanks on you.
That's why you got to break the chains that bind you, and you have to say, I am a child of God, and I am the light, and the light will permeate the darkness, and I will be moving up, and you have to tear away all those, pain bodies that we have all over us that starts manifesting. All the negative manifests into physical pain. So,
That's true. That's true. All of the negative manifesting can revert back to pain.
Yeah, emotional pain turns into physical maladies, and it sucks. But we don't own that stuff. People, you got to get rid of anything that's happened negative. People think like, oh, she taught me, you have to stop being the victim. I said, well, I did that.
You're a
I
victor.
said, survivor. And she said, no, because if you continue to be the survivor, you'll always be in victim mode. I never thought of it that way. So now it's just the experience that I have. I've learned this. And I try to always stay on that track, because she was right, because I'm holding all of that. Like, look at me. I got my muscles. I got my scar tissue from the surgeries. I got my scars on my heart from all these things. But no, you don't carry that with you. It doesn't serve us any purpose. So we have to allow that to go. That's what the purge is about. Release, release, release.
Well, Gigi, what are you thinking?
So this Thanksgiving, let's sit down, be grateful for the little things that are working in our lives, be grateful for whatever our lost loved ones brought to our lives, even though they may not physically be here. And let's just release all of the negativity. Like Bobby just said, release, release, release.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, Gina, that's beautiful.
You said she has to go because she's a client, but
I've got a client in a little bit. But I'm so glad that we were able to talk about this. I mean, we won't be here next week because obviously Thursday is Thanksgiving. So I just want to wish everyone a wonderful holiday with your family, friends, whoever that you're with. And you don't have to have a turkey. You just sit around the table and you laugh and you bring up memories and experiences and episodes from the past, and you just be grateful.
And all the witches, our witches out there, our witches brew, we need to have a Friendsgiving soon. I hope we all get together.
I think that would be
awesome.
Idea.
And get on that. Anyway, it is our time.
Annie, get on it.
Yeah, Annie, get on it. Annie, get your gun. Let's go.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you too, G. Bobby.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Bye,
Out
girls.
there.
Love
Have a
you.
great
I love you.
holiday.
Until next time, everyone. Keep smiling.
Peace out.